Welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's demonstration on ComplyHub. So ComplyHub is a system that I built based on my transfer over to the new standards. SharePoint, okay, so I've just asked in the chat, so I'd love to see where you're at now. What system have you been using for managing your compliance up until now? So whilst you're answering that question, if you can pop it in the chat, I'll just let you know who I am. So my name is Angela Connell-Richards. I'm the CEO and founder of Vivacity Coaching and Consulting and ComplyHub.ai. ComplyHub came about last year due to the change in legislation and the amount of changes that were required within the new legislation with regards to compliance and governance registers. So I've been building this since, so we started with a compliance tracker at the end of 2024. We were using that in 2025, which is also was a spreadsheet. And due to AI, we were able to move from there to be able to build a full platform. So Nicolette has said, me and my brain and matrix from Microsoft Excel. Excellent. Okay. So if you, so I know we've got a couple of people on here who have seen ComplyHub before. So if you can just pop it in the chat. Yes, you have seen ComplyHub before, or no, I'm a newbie. So I'd love it if you could share that with me so that I know where we're at. So Angelina, I know that you are. So just for those who are current clients, so I know Angelina is, we will, this is just a demonstration. We won't be actually doing any training or anything. We're setting the training aside now for anybody who's a current user of ComplyHub so that we can teach you right the details of ComplyHub. So today will just be a demonstration where I'll be going through what the system can do and how I built it. So it might be a bit repetitive for those who've already seen it, but however, for those who have seen the system before, things have changed. If you've never seen it, you're in for a really good ride. So no, I'm a newbie. Awesome, Nikki. Good to see. No, Garnaz, you're a newbie as well. Awesome. So we've got a few people who have not seen the system before. So you may have seen that there are a number of new compliance software that is now out on the market. However, there's nothing like this. So ComplyHub has been built with my over 30 years of experience within the training industry as a owner operator of an RTO, as a trainer and assessor, as well as in my own within Vivacity as the CEO and founder of Vivacity. So we've been helping registered training organisations all over Australia with their compliance since 2009 as Vivacity Coaching and Consulting. However, I've been in the industry for over 30 years where I've owned and operated 3 of my own RTOs, as well as worked as a trainer and assessor. So I used to deliver certificate to diploma in business, as well as TAE, small business management, administration, range of different areas. Since 2009, I've been operating Vivacity Coaching and Consulting, where we coach and consult training organisations all over Australia. And in that, we include training. So we have 4 webinars a month that we deliver. So I'd love to know who's online today, who has been to one of our webinars, because you would have already seen some of the stuff that we've already done, in particular when it comes to transitioning from the superseded standards to the new standards 2025. For Erilyn, yep, good. So last week I delivered a workshop on that transition, so how to transition. So for any of our members that are online, I do recommend that you get on and watch that transitioning one, because it was quite extensive of what you need in order to transition over to the new standard. So I actually gave you a whole project plan on how to do that. So no further ado, I am now going to share with you. So I'm going to be sharing with you an impersonation of one of our clients that we've worked with, mainly because this client, I've already populated a lot of information within the system so that so you can see how it actually works. So this is ComplyHub. So ComplyHub, as I stated at the beginning, was developed due to the changes in legislation. I'm just going to share that screen. When we started doing the transition from the old standards to the new standards, we identified that there was a lot more required when it comes to governance. And we started building out governance registers within a spreadsheet. So we had one spreadsheet. So what we used to have prior to the new standards is we had 3 registers in a spreadsheet. Now we have 28 registers within a spreadsheet. So when we started developing that, we realized that there was going to be a lot more work required when it came to managing your governance and within a governance register. So what we did was we started developing an advanced spreadsheet that you could do pull down menus and things like that in order to complete your register. And they were very basic registers. And I'm just going to show you an example of one here. So where you would log in, for example, RPL, you would put in the title, what type of risk it was and things like that. But I had it in a spreadsheet. Now what I've basically done is I've taken the spreadsheet and put it into forms. So created forms that will drop down into a register. So when you complete all of this information, it will drop down into the register, and then you will be able to see more within the register of anything that was recorded. So that could also be your facilities, resources and equipment that could be loaded in here as well. We've got a number of registers within here. It could be your public liability insurance that you have placed in here, fit and proper person register, whereby you are entering all of the fit and proper person forms that you've entered. So that was the basic side of it, was managing the registers. However, as we went along, we realised that there was going to be a lot more requirements. When you can't see the screen share, it might pop up on a different screen. So you might see it on a different screen. And I can see the screen shares there on my screen. So if anybody else, okay, good. So it was on another screen. Sometimes it pops up on a different screen. So what we did was it converted that basic spreadsheet into these forms so that you could have a register that was live and working. So that's where it all started. However, what we identified is over time we needed to build a lot more into the system. And with my over 30 years of experience in the training industry, I was able to, and I also happen to have a lot of experience in building websites. I'm also a graphic designer, and I have extensive experience also in coding. So that's where I was able to then take advantage of AI. I'm not a software developer, and I'm not, well, I'm most probably called a software developer now. I've never done any formal training in software development. However, I have worked on a number of projects. So that's where we came about, where we were building this system. So basically what the system does is it will manage your whole compliance framework. So my purpose behind the system was to make compliance simple. Basically, that's all I wanted to do. So I've incorporated within the system a lot of the systems that we do already within our working with our clients. So I'm going to show you what are some of the areas that I'm most excited about. So we have an area called the TAS Quality Assurance Engine, and this is where we can build your training and assessment strategy. So what we've done is we've actually integrated with TGA. So all of your information within TGA gets pulled into here. So such as your RTO name. For anybody who's done a trial, once you enter your RTO ID, it will pull in all of your company information from TGA. So all of this information here is publicly available on training.gov.au. However, what we can do is we can pull all that information in, and not only that, we can pull in your units of competencies as well as your full qualifications, skill sets, and any explicit units, so the explicit units that you are delivering on your scope of registration. So this is really important because we can pull in all of this information. We're able to then incorporate it throughout the whole system, actually. So everything within here will be able to manage your compliance based on your information on the register. So let's have a look at this one. So this is where you can either import an existing TAS or you can start creating your own. So you can import from the training products. So I've already pre-done this. So I can fetch training products from TGA. So I can import the skill sets. So I could do one at a time, or I could do the whole lot if I wanted to. So I'm just going to do one. So I can import that in, and then I can select that as a TAS that I am then going to work on. So here's one that I was working on earlier. So we bring the TAS in. We can choose, so it will automatically choose the core units from that training product. If you can't see anything, Kira, it might be on a second screen. So check out the second screen. Sorry, I can't see the screen share. So what may happen when I do screen share, maybe if I turn my camera off, you might see it. Let me know if you can see it. Okay, well, there should be a screen. So what are you seeing? So I've just turned my camera off, so you should just see the screen. So let me see. It can those who can see it. Yep, Nicolette can see it. Awesome. You can let me know that you can see, because it's no good if you can't see. You need to be able to see the screen. So all good here. I can see. Yep, I can see. No. So Kira, see if there's another screen. You might have another screen about that you need to see. Still can't see. What I recommend, log out of Teams and log back in again. Thanks, Carlo. I was recommending the same thing. So when I have the camera on, can you see both? Can you see me and the screen? Just let you know. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Okay, so those who cannot see the screen, if you just log out and log back in again. You might even have to update Teams. But let's see how we go. All right, awesome. And I'm just letting these people back in again so that they can jump in. Okay, so with the TAS Builder, so what it does is it brings all the training products in. So we've brought in a full qualification. So this is a Certificate 3 in Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander primary healthcare. It's already selected all of the core electives. So sorry, all the core units, sorry. So it will automatically select the core. Then you get to choose the elective. So what electives that you want to use against this training product. So you can choose different groups. You can group by the electives. If it has different groups, you can also group those as well. If you need to import a training product from another certificate, so within that qualification, if it states that you can import another training product, you can do that here. So you can just put in the code and title, and it will bring in that training product from TGA. So, and it will also tell you here what are the requirements of this training product in order to meet the requirements. So let's just choose 4 here. So now it's saying it requires 6 electives, and I've only got 4. So I'll need to make sure that I select all. So now I've got all of the training products. So it's now telling me that I have all of the training products required, so the units of competencies, in order to deliver this qualification. So then we save the unit selection, and then we can move on to the next section. So the next section is where we are looking at a target group. So what we're doing is we're wanting to build a full training and assessment strategy. So within that, we want to ensure that we're meeting all of the training product requirements. Now, if you import a TAS, it will search. So the AI within this system will search the import and identify if you've already got all of this information already in there. So it will bring that in. However, we can also use AI to write this for you as well. So if you import, it'll bring these in. However, we can also bring in the other from your industry consultation as well. Okay, so then we've got consultation. So consultation is where you can use an online form for consultation. So it will be a survey that you can send to people in that you want to survey, and it will have a form that will have your logo up the top, and then it will have a form that they can complete. And when they submit it, it will drop down directly into the industry consultation register. So any consultation that has been done, it will drop down in here. You can also do your own. So if you wanted to do you had a phone consult with someone, you can say how long it was, what date it was, what industry sector are they from, is it scheduled or have you actually completed it? You can put the purpose of the consultation and what was discussed during that meeting. You can also add who were the participants, what training product does this relate to, and if you had any other evidence, it might be meeting minutes that you had, or it might be an agenda item within your calendar, or anything that can demonstrate that you actually held that industry consultation. This is also very good for if your trainers and assessors may have been on a site visit. So they've gone to a site, they've had a discussion with a supervisor or a manager within the organisation. They can also fill this in to include information from that site visit. So as you can see, there's a range of different ways that we can do your consultation. And basically, this is your industry consultation strategy that it's all in one system. So you don't need to go anywhere else. You can just do it here. Yes, question. Would this be a time saver for a small RTO? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So the way we've built this is it's not just for small RTOs, it's also for big RTOs, but it depends, depending on the size of your RTO, will depend on how much data you need and how many users you would need. So, and often, Nikki, we work with a lot of RTOs where one or two people are doing the roles of everything. So this basically will help you manage everything without having to be up all night doing all your work that you can't get done during the day because you're delivering training. So yeah, so that's basically what this will do. It will replace a lot of what you do to make it much easier. So that's the industry consultation side, where you can then pull that into the training and assessment strategy. And you can see here, it will also identify any industry consultation that was done, any gaps on feedback that you may have, so we can identify what units need some further feedback. We can review what are the consultation that's been undertaken. We can also have a look, are there any skills gaps? What feedback do we need? So it will give you lots of information that will guide you on whether you're compliant or not. Could the IT guy still look at the industry consultation feedback submission failure, please? Oh, God. Okay. So this one is not a session on where we're doing fixes. This is where you go to the training. So the training is where we'll do that. Okay, so then we have the feedback. integration, so the integration of those skills gaps within the training product, and the section preview. We've also got, we can integrate your trainers matrix. So trainer matrix and credentials validation. So this is where we can identify whether your trainers meet the requirements of the training product. So for example, it could be that you want to map your trainers to the units of competencies. So that's where we can build a trainers matrix. So we can go into the trainers matrix and we can build a trainers matrix based on all of your trainers within your RTO. So I've got a couple of examples in here of some trainers. So it's telling me at the moment that we have missing information, and you can see that there are no credentials that have been uploaded. But what we can do is we can upload the qualifications. So we can go in and upload a certificate for in training and assessment. We can say who it was issued by, the RTO ID that it came from, and the date. And then once you enter that in, it will then bring it in to under that trainer and assessor. It can also, once we've identified what training products they can deliver, so we want to add their TAE, but we also want to add any vocational qualifications that they're delivering. So what is the training product that they're going to be delivering? And we'll want to bring that one in as well. And basically what will happen is AI will read it and it will identify the units that you've completed and map your trainer's skills and knowledge to the trainer's matrix. So it will map all of those details over. We can import the training product. So we can say, okay, what training product is this trainer going to be delivering? You can identify, you can then select what are the training products that they're going to deliver. And then once we've done that, we can then map across from those. So we can add that to the trainer. So then it will go into their trainers matrix. So that way we can then see, okay, how do we need to map this? Do they have the skills and knowledge? You can also include their currency. So you can log any currency. So it can be industry employment, consulting work that they may have done, professional practice, industry projects. So we've got a range of different ones that they can add in here. And from the trainers portal, they can also enter all this information. So you can add all of this information in and then log that activity. And then, of course, upload any supporting evidence that will need to go with that. We've also got your PD, so that's your vet professional development and your industry professional development, because we need evidence of that as well, and we'll need to upload those into there as well. Is there a field to say it has been authenticated by the issuing RTO? Yes, there is. So, once we've got them uploaded, then we'll be able to authenticate that training product. So we can go in, add that training product, and then it will have an authentication system. So one of the first things that it can do is it can go to training.gov.au, look up the RTO by the RTO ID to verify on TGA. So you don't need to. So it will go to TGA and verify that credential from TGA. Now for higher ed, that one's a bit different because we can't go to TGA. However, we can have a look for that university, and that might be something we do in the future. There is also a system where you can verify. So you can go through the process of verifying that training product. Now, TGA is, what it will do on TGA is it will go to TGA and look up whether the training product was on the RTO scope at the time that it was issued, when the certificate was issued. So it will do that verification from there. How are the details of individuals protected? So are you talking about the trainers and assessors, assuming, Nikki? So this database is securely, all the data is secure in Australia. So it's in a database within Australia. No one can see the data on there except for the admin. So and you can control who can see that. So I'll show you that soon, how you can control the users. But the way the data, you've actually got a number of users that you can manage, whereby you can say who can see what within the within those users. So you can protect that data so that only admin and the compliance manager can see it, or you can change it to administration staff that can see it. And this is a password protected system. So they need to log in order to get access to that data. The data is only in your tenant. So it's only within one tenant. So no one else can see your data, only within your tenant. So that's where it is protected there. And I'll just quickly show you the user management. User management can only be seen by the admin person. So you can see all the different users, but you can also manage the different roles and permissions as well. So you can say what each person can have access to. So whether they can manage, view different like the AI, the assessment, the automation, things like that. So it's up to you how you want to manage it. And we only have these roles at the moment, but you could add your own role if you wanted to. So if you wanted to create your own role, you could put it in here and then allocate what information that they can access. We've written this specifically for the typical roles within your organisation. We've also included, if you have a consultant, the consultant can have access to, so they can get access to your system. We've also got it so the regulatory officers can, so ASQA can also view. So when you go to audit, they can view items. So they can't edit, they can't update anything. All they can do is view. So things such as your registers, your TASs, your completed TASs. So they'll be able to see the completed TASs. They'll be able to see your industry consultation and your industry register, and they'll also be able to see your trainers matrix. So hopefully I've explained all that. So Nikki, yep, you're good with that. Security has been our number one priority when it came to building ComplyHub. We wanted to make sure that we were protecting all users, all tenants, and that the data wasn't going to be out there on the internet or anywhere else. Okay, so I got up to PD. Then you can build a plan. So you can actually create a PD plan within here. Because I haven't got any data in here at the moment, it won't create the plan. But once we've got data in here, the AI will review the data that has been uploaded for this trainer, and it will go through and identify any gaps that there may be within their PD, their industry currency, as well as their vet PD and industry PD. So it will identify any gaps and then create a plan for that trainer against those gaps, so that we're only focusing on what are the gaps and that they're maintaining their currency within their training industry. So it will create the plan, and then we can conduct an audit. We've got some questions that you can ask the trainer. So you can do this through here. And then when the trainer logs into the trainer portal, they'll be able to see those questions. So for example, if you were building this trainer's matrix and you identified that there was some information that was missing, so you could say, hey, you need to do some, I need some information on the latest PD you've done, or I need clarification on this certificate that you provided, or I need to do, this is a compliance risk. So what do I need to see when I'm looking at that compliance risk? And you can ask them any question within there. Then we can build a full timeline, and we can also do a bulk upload. So if you have already have established on your SharePoint or Google Drive already all of your trainers' information, you can actually do a bulk upload. So you can come in here and do a bulk upload of their resume, their certificates, their job description, their PD, their currency. You can do a bulk upload, and then the AI will review it and then upload it within here. So the whole idea around it is I want to make sure that you are getting access to making it easy, saving time, money, and compliance. So making it much easier for you. So I say, Kim, what's happening with yours? Because you're watching on your phone, you'll have two screens. You'll have one that's got me on it and one that's got the screen on it. So so most probably when I take me off the screen, you're most probably then seeing the screen. I still can't see the screen. Okay. Okay, so that's the trainers matrix. So then what we can do, once we've built, we've got each trainer, we can then classify those trainers. We can identify risks of those trainers. We can do a compliance scan, and we can also look at the full trainers matrix. Then once the trainers matrix has been updated, it will then pull into the training and assessment strategy. So it will pull into here, and all of that information will come up on within the matrix. So what it will do within the TAS is it will identify any gaps that there may be with the trainers and assessors against the units of competencies that you're delivering. It will also, you can then include in here your assessment strategy. So what types of assessments are you conducting? So you can toggle these to choose. So if it's not all units, you can choose which units it's for, or you can have all of the units if that's what you want to do. So there's a range of different assessment methods that have been included within here. Then we go down to a validation schedule. So we've also built a full assessment validation tool within here so that you can have your schedule. So you can have your 5-year schedule, as well as a dashboard, any escalation on any validations that is overdue, when a validation was conducted, any actions that were taken. So if you identified that there were any assessment tools that needed updating, you can also pop it in here and it will map to it as well. So what has happened here is I've imported all of the units from TGA, and then it will pull it into a validation schedule. Until you've chosen all of your electives, all of the electives will come up in here. So we need to make sure that you've done your TASs first, so that you have just the units that you're going to be validating. But what the system does, using AI, it identifies whether the unit is a high risk, medium risk, or a low risk. So using AI and going to TGA, it will identify what is a high, medium, and low, and it will automatically risk rate it for you. Then you can also start your validation within here. So you can, so this is stopping it because we haven't got any industry engagement or trainers matrix at the moment, but you can then build out your assessment validation schedule. We're also building a tester. So we're going to have a assessment tool tester, because that's one of the requirements within the new standards, is that we've got to be able to test the tool. Now, the testing is mainly just going to see any gaps within the tool that doesn't meet the requirements of the training product. Of course, you're still going to need to test, but it's going to give you a focus point of where to go when it goes to testing your tool. Also, that will be pulled in within here. So we'll have automated assessment validation within here as well. So you'll be able to upload. So you can upload your assessment tool within here. So it could be a student submission, a marking guide, assessor feedback, observation checklist, or workplace evidence, and you can upload that, and then it will identify whether it's sufficient, has consistency, and it will also give you some analytics on that and what are the findings within that as well. So and basically what it will do with the validation is it will validate it against the training product on training.gov.au. So it will then pull in whether it's mapped across to the units, the performance criteria and the assessment conditions within it. So that's the assessment validation that then ties in to your TAS. So then from there, we can then do an auto build. So it will pull information from the different registers. So it will pull information from TGA, your feedback, so any feedback that you receive from students and trainers, industry consultation. If you had any session plans, it can pull from that. However, it can also build the session plans, so it can build it within here. So you can then start doing an auto build based on the training products that you've selected, so the units, the competencies. We've also got a range of other tools in here. You can do a health check. You can upload other relevant documents or how you want it downloaded. It can also create a governance version control, so it will give it a version control within it, and then you'll have each of your TASs that will then be managed within a version. So you'll see we've got V1 in here. You can then build a session planner. So we've got here different session types that you can have, and you can generate a plan within here based on the unit of competency. So we can say, okay, we want to do a workplace training, and we want to use AI to enhance this, and then we want to generate the plan, and we can include that within there. We've also got analytics in here to identify where you're at within developing your TASs, and we've also got integration. This is still to come. So this integration, we're looking at integrating. We've already got Outlook calendar. We're working on Xero, and then we're looking at other systems. We've also got a few student management systems who are interested in integrating with us as well. So that's the full process when it comes to your training and assessment strategy. It will also develop your delivery plan as well. So it can create a timetable for your delivery plans based on the information that's within your training and assessment strategy. You can also do reviews of it. And then monitor and improve it. So the whole idea is the full system is within ComplyHub for your training and assessment strategies. And then they all tie down into other registers within your system. So we've got a number of areas. We've also got our student support. So we've got trainers can log in, and when they log in, they'll be able to fill in their trainers matrix. They can also add any consultation. They can view the TASs. They can also be part of the assessment validation as well. When it comes to student support, they can conduct suitability and LLND through here. So what can happen is they can build their own LLND through here. So they, based on the AQF level and the unit of competencies, it can identify what are the different skills that are required in order to develop an LLND. And then we can also look at any results that we may have as well. For student support, the student support officer can log any entries within here for student support. So it might be under academic, wellbeing, accessibility, behavioural. So, and then it can include the sources within there as well. We've also got training adjustments. So if you had any adjustments to training that was required, the trainer or support person can fill this in, and then it will have a record of that training adjustment for that student. And then eventually what we want to do is integrate this with your student management system so it can pull your students' information into the system. However, in saying that, we're currently building a student management system as well that will integrate with this. So it will be an additional plugin to this system where you'll be able to access the student management system, where you can bring all of that data into here that is VETMIS compliant. We're hoping to release that by mid-year this year. We can also include in here identifying any students that are at risk, and then creating an intervention plan. So we can do an academic one. It could be engagement, so that might be that they dropped down in their attendance. Could be well-being, behaviour. Could have been something that happened on work placement. It could be as a result of their LLND assessment, and then you can generate a plan based on that. So you can put the student information in here. This will sync over to your student management system based on their student ID. So it's really important that you do use the student IDs, and that's how it will integrate across through to the student. It's also got a wellbeing and safety plan where you can build a wellbeing and safety plan throughout your organisation. So you can conduct a risk scan based on a student. So you can identify what type of risk it is, and then it could be that you've made a referral to an external provider, and you can add that within the notes in here. We've also got support plans that you can create. So you can create a support plan for a student, and you can put this support plan, put all the details in here, and then download it as a PDF and provide it to the student. So it can be, and the trainer, and it can also be uploaded to your student management system. So it's creating it all in one place. If there was a WHS incident, they could, students can access this, as well as trainers, as well as staff, who can then fill this in, identify what type of incident it was, who was the student involved, what was the description, any injuries, things like that, you can upload into here. And then we have independent reviews. So this is where you may have a student who wants to appeal a result. You can put it within here for that appeal, or it could be a complaints and appeals where they want an independent review. So you can keep record of the independent review within the same system based on the student information. We've also got work placement wellbeing. So you can go in and you can include a report from any work placement that was conducted during that quarter or that term. So you can say what term, you can say what year, how many sites you had. Were there any incidences? Was there any student feedback that came back from the work placement? We're going to be building this even further, whereby it will also include an employer feedback. So the employer will be able to give feedback on students on work placement. So you would have seen in the users that we had that we also have an employer portal as well that they can use. You can build a diversity and inclusion plan from within here. So you can do a self-review and then complete a checklist and then add cultural safety notes. So you can build a full plan within here, which is a new requirement under the standards. So we want to build in more AI within here. So this is just what we have right now. There's a lot more that we're going to be including within here as well. So you can do an inclusive practice checklist. You can also undertake cultural safety and include cultural safety notes within here as well. Feedback, this could be feedback from students, employers, it could be a net promoter score, it could be the industry needs analysis. We also have a monthly trainers report where the trainer can complete a report on how they went over the last month and include any PD that they've completed. So trainers will never have to build a trainers matrix again. They will, all they'll do is they will complete a monthly report, and in that monthly report they'll include, did you do any PD in the last month? If so, if you can upload evidence of that. Did you do any industry placement or currency? Then upload that. Have you updated any of your credentials? You can upload that. And then as soon as they upload it, it will drop straight down into the trainers matrix and straight into the TAS. So you don't no more double handling of any information. The trainer will enter the information and it will drop down to the relevant registers. And then I'm going to show you one of the most important ones coming up soon. We also have a complaints and appeals register within here where you can lodge a complaint or an appeal. There is also an online form within the student portal where they'll be able to lodge any of their complaints and appeals within there as well. And then we have a survey builder. So you can use this for building your own surveys, but we've also got a template. So we've got templates. We've got the employer quality indicator. We've got the student quality indicator, trainer effectiveness survey, work placement. We're going to be building out a few more that will be in here as well, but you'll also be able to create your own surveys within here. There's also the facility to upload your current forms. So you can upload your current form and then it will build a form based on your current form. So an online form based on your current form that you'll be able to use in there. So that's students. We're also building out the vet workforce. So under the new requirements of the vet workforce blueprint, we've built this out to include, so we've got the trainers matrix engine, but we've also got a snapshot of your trainers credentials. So we'll be able to see a snapshot of that. We also have a snapshot of the PD register of not only your trainers, but it can also be of any other team member within your organisation. It will use a pull-down menu from your list of users within your tenant, and you can then say what position it is, and then you can lodge any PD that any staff member has completed. Because under the new standard, it is a requirement that everyone within an RTO must complete a vet PD. So we've added that within there. And then there's going to be some other requirements moving forward under vet PD, vet workforce. Okay, so I've gone through a lot. This part is the key to everything. This is where you're going to manage all of your ongoing compliance. And it's through holding a monthly governance meeting. This is something that we've recommended for many, many years, is that you hold a monthly governance meeting. That is where you pull together all of the registers, so the governance registers, as well as feedback from your trainers, feedback from students, feedback from industry consultation. Everything gets pulled in here. And it's all automated. You don't need to go to a register. It will pull it in. So it will automatically pull in the trainers report and the support services report. If you have any changes in training products, so we recently had some changes within the training products for CHC, so it will bring in those changes and let you know that what TASs have been affected. So these TASs have been affected, and so it will tell you that these have been affected and you might need to do some updates, and during the meeting you can then table that at the meeting. Then if you have any other items in any of the other registers, it will then be highlighted and then placed on the agenda. So these are all the different registers we have, but it will highlight it and then bring it up onto the register so that you'll be able to then go to your live meeting, and at the live meeting, you'll be able to conduct your report, your meeting within there. When is this training? Okay. So you've got your monthly trainers report that will come in here. So when you review the trainers report, you'll be able to put some discussion notes in here and then action items. Your student support officer report will also go into here. Opportunities for improvement, if you had any of those. So you'll be able to record all of these in here. Now, one of the things that I recommend for all of our clients is don't type any minutes. You should be recording your minutes. So either hold a Teams meeting or do an audio recording. So you can then upload your transcript from that meeting and or your audio recording. And then what it will do is the AI in here will then create a minutes for you based on the notes that you've uploaded. So we use Teams. So within Teams, we have Copilot. When Copilot's on, it will take minutes. Then we upload those minutes into the governance meeting. Okay. Just checking any messages there. Erilyn will let you know when the next training will be on. Okay, so you'll be able to upload all of those. Then once you've uploaded, so it will read all of that, it will then identify any actions that need to be taken from that meeting. So they will come down in here. The action items will then be delegated to the relevant person, and then it will drop directly into your calendar and tasks. So if someone was given a task, it will go into the calendar. They'll be able to see it from their view. The admin and compliance manager will be able to see it, but no one else will be able to see it. All other users will only see their own tasks or group tasks, anything that's company-wide. So they'll be able to see it within the calendar, but they'll also be able to see it within their task list. They'll also be able to add their own tasks. You'll also be able to add tasks and delegate it to someone else. So you can say what the task is and delegate it to them. So it could be an audit action, assessment validation, document review that went in there, select a date of when it's due, and then you can table it at the next meeting as well. Okay, so back to the governance meeting. So you'll also be able to keep a history of previous minutes. So you'll see I've got previous minutes in here. You can add, if you want to add previous minutes that weren't recorded within here, you can add them in here and upload those minutes within here as well. But you'll also have a record of all of those minutes. So when you go to audit, here's your record of all of your audits that all of your governance meetings that you have held. And then you can set up when you're going to hold those governance meetings as well. So then we have a governance register. We've also got a audit readiness tool. So this is where you can review how are you going against all of the standards. You'll use this audit readiness once you've created your TASs, your DAPs, your industry consultation, you've done all of this work, you've held some governance meetings. It will then be able to do a check on how are you going against the standards and any gaps that there may be against those standards and what you need to do. So it will, you've got that one as well. Then you've got your other registers like material change of event, fit and proper person, quality indicators, public liability. So there's a range of different ones in there. Now, another cool feature that is within this system is your documents register. So your documents register is where you'll keep all of your documents that you want other team members to be able to access. So you can upload your documents within here, identify when it needs to be reviewed, whether it's in draft or what version number it is. So this is where you'll do your version management within here. You can identify what a draft, and then you can go through an approval process as well. Once they're approved and published, they'll then be available within the document registry. So the document registry is where we can identify when a general admin log in, they will be able to see all of these ones with general admin on there. Governance is admin, so your admin user as well as your compliance manager. If it had trainer on here, the trainers would be able to see it. If it had student on here, the students will be able to see it. And you do this through managing it through here. So you go in, you've got your document. These are documents that I've updated already. I've uploaded into here. It will put the document title, what relevant standard does it come under, who's accountable for this, what status is it up to right now, when it should be reviewed, and then you can choose which repositories it goes into. So if it was relevant for trainers, you would then add trainers in here. If it's not relevant for students, you could take it off students. If it's a trainer document, then you'll add trainer here. So the repository tags are basically which repository it will go into, and the document audience is who it relates to. So you would have that within there. You can also manage this where you can upload version controls in here. So you can upload a new one. So if there was a change, you can upload a new one and say whether it was a minor or a major update. So this is going to be where you're going to manage all of your documents. You'll still need to record your documents within, so you'll need like a SharePoint folder or some sort of drive where you've got your master documents, but this is where the working documents will then go so that everyone can access these documents, including your policies and procedures. We've also got a bot in here, so you can go to the bot and the bot's not working. The bot's gone away. So there is a bot that goes in here where you'll be able to access the bot. So we have the, so it's taken me to, okay, I'm just going to stop sharing for a sec because it's taken me out. I'll just pop back in again. So there is a bot within here where you'll be able to access the users. Uh-oh, impersonation's not working. Why isn't it working? Will you be sharing costs today? Need to share. Yeah, definitely. So, I'm going to do one better than that. I am going to offer you a free trial of this system. So the free trial, I'm just going to show this with you now. So you can get a free 14-day trial. And when you go into the trial, you'll be able to, let's have a look, this one. You can request a free trial and you just go to this trial page here. So I'll share this in the chat with you now. So go sign up now. So there's no obligation. You don't need a credit card. You can start the trial now. You can jump in. You will need your RTO ID. If you don't have an RTO ID, you'll need to submit a form to come to us. We are trying to protect the system to make sure that only RTOs can get access to this, not other developers or anything like that. So in the chat, you can see your free trial. You'll be able to put your RTO ID in here and then sign up and you'll get instant access. So you'll be able to jump on straight away. When it comes to the pricing, you can jump onto our website and learn more about the pricing. We've also got on our website, we've also got some information about the products and how they work. So this would be really good for your CEO, Nikki, where they can go on here and they can see how it works. We've also added different features. So what are the different features within here? We've also included, so I've added a few of those main features that we've discussed today. So we've gone through what we've done today you'll see on this system here. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, please let me know. We do encourage you, jump on, get that free trial. So you can access it for 14 days. You can upload any documents. You can add your TASs and things like that if you wanted to do that. If you then decide to convert over to a subscription, you won't lose any of your data. So it's up to you whether you want to clean up the data or you keep that data in there. Then that way you can then just continue using it through the system. So, and the subscription is managed through your RTO settings. So when you go into there, you'll be able to see it under your RTO settings and you will be able to subscribe within the system. It'll also pop up and let you know when your subscriptions, your trial period is about to end, and then you can subscribe from there. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you've got any feedback, I'd like to know what you think about the system, and we've also got a suggestions button within the system as well, where you can pop in any suggestions for the system as well. But I do recommend jump on, do a trial, and I'd love to hear more about what you think of the system, and it's constantly evolving. I've got a lot more things that I'm going to be adding into the system, and it's a lot of my 30 years of experience that I'm adding within the system. So just making compliance simple. That's what my aim is. So thank you very much for attending today's session. Do jump on to that free trial, and love to hear from you again soon. Thank you for joining me today.